You came out with this one during the pandemic, part two, which you clarify some interesting things that I found interesting. And one is you got a visitation from, was it Sue? So,
Yes, I call this entity my handler. Sue and Betty are one and the same. They're the same entity. I called her Betty out of jest, actually, because she wore this crazy black wig that was styled like my sisters wore their hair in the 60s, only it was unkempt and all kinds of. And from a profile, she looked like Betty Rubble from the Flintstones. So that's where she got the name Betty from. But it was absolutely Sue.
and so you're planning to write this book, and at one point, she shows up to your house and confronts you about it.
October 2017. Yes. I woke up, I never sleepwalked a single day in my life. And I woke up in my living room and I opened my eyes and I'm shocked. I'm like, how did I get here? And I glance over, the alarm set, the cat's all chill on the on the windowsill. But seated directly across from me is this woman that I didn't recognize at first. Pardon me, because she had this wig on, and she had on these oversized dark glasses. And I turned the lamp on, and the light wasn't great. And she was in black. She had a red scarf tied around her neck that kind of hid the pencil thin nature of her neck. And a black blouse, black slacks, and sturdy black nursing shoes with about a 2-inch heel, I guess to compensate for her height. And my first thought was, I wish she'd take off those glasses. And she did, like it was on cue. And I immediately recognized her as Sue. And we were communicating telepathically, and I didn't even think about it. Because my next thought was, my God, it's good to see you again. And it was. And I've had other people tell me that they have an affection for their handler too. I mean, I don't mean in a romantic way, but kind of in a maternal way, like you would have for an aunt or something. Um,
This was the same woman that was in the room when you were a child trying to move the shapes.
yes,
Yeah,
one and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I guess if you know somebody, even though they're wiping your memory, you would still have that connection with them. Because if you know them from basically your whole life, that you're seeing this person, maybe not as frequently, but relatively frequently, like you would a teacher.
Yes, yes. A teacher is a very good analogy.
So she asked you straight up not to write the book, right?
She did. She told me I shouldn't write the book, that my government would not be happy with me. And she also said it's probably not wise to speak about it.
Too
And
late.
yeah, cat's out of the bag. I don't care. My feeling is the more I speak, the more I write, the more visible I am, the safer I am.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. And I think it's an important message. I mean, I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. I just put my story out there, take it or leave it. But this stuff is real.
I find it interesting that they took the initiative to like sit you down in your own home. You even alluded to it at one point in the book where you're like, why can't they just talk to me in my own home? And finally, when they need you to not write a book, they do what you want, right? I found that so interesting. That is the action of somebody who is very concerned about what you have to say, what you have to remember. And in writing, in storytelling in general, behavior is everything. In just that moment, the behavior, the shift in normality in the way they operate, that's not their MO. So their behavior is telling me that what you have to say, they don't want us to hear. Why? You know? Why don't they want us to hear it?
And it might be just one little bitty fraction of that story. You know, I've had that thought too. Maybe 99% of my story is fine. I mean, lots of people write books. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
You know? My guess is it was the guys in the tan flight suits aboard this ship. I think that was the sensitive area.
That's at the top of my list, bro. That's at the top of my list too.